Spacestation, so it's another one up there on the main stage, but can they get over that hump? That's the big question. Spacestation versus Envy. Let's head on over to your casters. Final one of the night, boys, and it's a big one. Two of these teams are battling it out. One's going home tonight, and one will continue. Enjoy, have fun, lads.
Absolutely. Dave joined up once again here to watch a series we casted just yesterday in pool play. Envy versus SSG. We called it the biggest matchup of last night, and once again, this is the biggest matchup of tonight. These are the best 5 teams left in this tournament, but only 4 teams get to go on to Championship Sunday. And if SSG want to really prove they are the better team over Envy, they're going to have to beat them twice in one tournament, because it's all or nothing here for Championship Sunday rewards.
Not going to be easy either. We saw how big of a fight Envy put up last time. Going down to the wire, game 5. Spacestation barely eking that one out 3-2. But look at this series layout we got in front of us, Wes. We got Strongholds on live fire, StelluR on recharge to kick these ones off.
StelluR was one of the big-time players in that first series against Envy in pool play. It was individual performances, if you remember, that really stood out for SSG. Eco even shining bright in some of those moments. They kept making those individual plays, but SSG, are you going to be able to replicate that twice? Are the individuals gunning here in the elimination bracket? Descendant is going to be on screen with the first sniper of the game. It is Envy to start to score this early setup. And then AB hold as Camo comes up, Descendant trying to get eyes and has a lot of pressure in front of him as he takes down one.
Yeah, we're going to see how these teams are faring later in the day. On one hand, you start to say, our team's running out of gas. They've had a long, strenuous day. Other times, I look at this as gamer hours, Wes. A lot of scrims aren't starting until 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's the East Coast, too. These boys are used to gaming and grinding here, especially the ones on Envy, the young guns, the ones that probably had nothing better to be doing other than improving at their craft. Are those hours going to pay off? Because it's been 4 years leading up to moments like this. 2 tournaments left, 2 championship Sundays left, and one of these 2 teams is not going to make one of those championship Sundays. Eco with the camo tries to get an assassination, but can't quite get the angle. It is a double melee successful kill for him, but he's trading the camo, and that's a win for Envy to remove Eco what could have been a massive camo play.
Yeah, 1 for 1 there. Not what you want to see from the camo, but we're going to see if StelluR can reconvert this B stronghold and finally stop these points going on the board for Envy. So now we're going to see the first points going on the board for him, but never mind, all strongholds are flipping. It's a stronghold sale out there.
Huge rotation by StelluR to help his team get over towards A. There was one player from Envy trying to deny that A transition. StelluR maybe a little bit too fast on the next rotation, however, as Envy took advantage of the opportunity. They got over to B. They're able to take down everyone but Falcated. Falcated gets toes in the stronghold momentarily. Is SSG going to be able to spawn up in time to be able to help him? Yes, the reinforcements are here. And what a job from Falcated to deny B from getting transitioned over. They're able to get a couple of kills, but still more work to do. Descendant alive, no shield back B. And you see Envy in a promising position to regain control of B and C.
Envy just always on top of this B stronghold. You've seen A and C flip a little bit back and forth, but one thing's remained true is it feels like Envy continually controlling the green stronghold.
2 down on each side right now. Control favors Envy. They continue to build this lead. Now up to about 70 points. Descendant finds a perfect route, finds a couple of kills as well. It's up to StelluR to try and push dummies, but he gets predicted on the route and eats that grenade. He does have camo, so able to play his life, relocate to bottom middle, but StelluR's got to be frustrated. He thought he might have a timing, is still getting hunted, and they keep track of where this camo player is. He does get taken care of Piggy, but you want to stay alive, you at least want to keep your teammate alive, and StelluR really can't manifest this into a positive result as of yet.
Yeah, and once again, makes his way back on over towards B. Feels like we've seen him over here continuously. It almost gets insta-exploded, or I should say remote detonated there from that player over in the mud.
Yeah, because he has a spike and a frag, he doesn't pick those plasmas up instantly and almost pays for it with his life. Fortunately, still alive, still able to impact the combat loop that's happening over at A. He's able to knock a player down, able to reset A. So big plays by StelluR so far here, but they need to finish off Precision. Precision back in the A stronghold with snipe in hand, and he lands a massive body shot on the StelluR. Precision playing his life out, plays StelluR, and that's going to be A and nearly B going in favor of Envy. It's a trip cap momentarily, but no, someone from SSG gets toes into B, and that saves them from a trip cap situation where they would have been in a lot of trouble.
Also, can we just talk about the heads-up play there from Precision, just predicting exactly where StelluR's coming from? You just have this sort of time and this spidey sense that you build up in Halo that you say, all right, check this route. This person's not double backing here.
Yeah.
I need to watch my back from scoreboard side.
It's year 4. Players have that timing in their head down to a pat. Piggy, the last player alive for Envy, as SSG get a full wipe onto Envy right now. Starting to climb back in a comeback right now. 113 to 50, not an insurmountable comeback by any means, but we need to see SSG get another round of slays so this game gets a little bit closer.
Well, the nice part that SSG can now get to afford is they get to just trade kills. Envy were afforded that earlier in this match, where they had 2 strongholds, and they would just go even in kills, but score up time.
Envy overextend from the dummy side over towards C. They're able to get C, but they lose A in the process. So a good job by SSG to flip the map. Eco did what he could with the Quantum, but also got out of dodge in order to make sure he doesn't lose his life. Unfortunately, the push then from C comes in, and it's StelluR with a triple kill that denies an opportunity for Envy after taking down Eco there.
Well, you said when the score was 100 to 10, you said, how is SSG going to get back to this? I said when pigs could fly, and we saw Piggy going flying back and off at green. Off the map, and they are back in this game, nearly tied here. SSG on a 100-point-ish run.
And a triple from StelluR, another individual brilliant performance, a moment that gives SSG some life. Can they continue that life? What can they do with it? Still with the BC hold right now, but they lose 3 players. StelluR, once again, the last player alive and forced to play his life. Precision making sure nobody from SSG is sneaking over towards A. As B gets converted towards Envy's favor, Precision now looks to be on the prowl with this camo. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to push the trip cap. It's going to be one more round of slays before he's able to do that.
Like this play, taking his time, trying to see what push Space Station's taking. But at this point, they've already picked Piggy. You've gotten some ground here, but you still aren't in a position to damage. Precision now giving away his position.
Yeah, really.
What's going to happen to this?
Takes down Eco from the side. Can't get traded either. Falcated couldn't get the kill as he turns the corner on that pillar. Yakzn's got your back. Precision kills going in their favor once again. StelluR has the snipe, can't hit the no-scope. And when StelluR misses the no-scope, he goes down. That's 3 down. Precision getting impact on every single player that SSG just went down. Was trying to attempt to get a kill, but Precision's relocation. He's playing perfect Halo right now, and he's rewarded with the snipe. What can he do with it next?
There was points I was questioning the push towards tunnel. Was this the right play? In the end, does not matter. The way he executed every single engagement after that has gave his team this trip cap.
It's a trip cap momentarily. A is going to be converted, but here comes Precision. And Precision is precise with the snipe. Rips the head off a suppress, puts it back in the respawn screen. Space Station still down 2 members. Envy jump right back into A. Now C. Precision stops C. Precision's doing it all on the main stage here Saturday night, 17-5 and 7, and continuing to play perfect Halo.
This is the chance they're looking for. And one thing you gotta consider is a squad like Envy, after pool play, we're gonna look at this match. They're gonna say, what are the small changes we need to make in order to beat someone like SSG? Whereas there's a likelihood that SSG could have been looking towards the future saying, all right, let's focus on our round 1 bracket match.
Yeah, and hey, Precision, if you can do me a favor, just not miss shots and kill everyone on the map. That's got to be a recipe for success, and apparently he's capable of it.
Yeah, is that what his VOD review looks like? He's like, I missed a shot there. I shouldn't make that mistake again.
I mean, that was a couple of my teammates back in the day. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But, I mean, hey, if it works and you don't miss, good things are going to happen. Precision and Descendant, the last 2 alive. It's actually just Descendant. Piggy and Yakzn coming off respawn here, and it's a trip cap for SSG. Descendant with this camouflage, however, you wonder how much of SSG knows that he has camo and can really predict where he's going to impact the outcome of this game. Descendant playing this slow with such a comfortable lead for Envy. He's able to use this camo to its full extent with the extension of the camouflage for this event. This is a massive play by him, but time is kind of up and he wants to push. Unfortunately, SSG shoot the plasma grenades and it reveals him, taking him down with not too much success with that camouflage.
I liked the patience they had from Descendant. He's not just trying to overextend and potentially give up that death, but at the same time, maybe a little too patient. They had C secured. They were all towards that side, and then he pushes kind of solo over towards B.
Yeah, because that doesn't go their way. Look how SSG are able to hold this. This is a winnable game all of a sudden for SSG. 188 and climbing, only down 40 points right now. A massive comeback for SSG so far in this game. A getting converted into Envy's favor, but the overextension from Suppress onto C allows SSG not to worry about A.
Enemy team nearing
It's a
victory.
smart flip by them, and look at this trap by Suppress. Gets the first one, gets a shot on the second player,
He's got
and just
one or two.
buying time, gets the trade.
Wow, a
Huge
big double.
play by Suppressed to take out, what was that, Yakzn and Piggy.
But where are the rest of SSG? Even though he gets a 2v1, successfully trades it out in his favor, it's still Envy that are able to convert B. They have C in their hands as well, and 245 and climbing. SSG have to go now. SSG lose not one, not two, not three, all 4 members down, and Envy will create the upset here in game 1 of this series and take the lead.
That's the kind of start you're looking for if you're Envy. You know you're capable of beating this team. You almost did in pool play. The game started to slip out a little bit towards the end. SSG started to get their foothold in that game, started to claw him back in time.
Such small margins are separating these two teams, and it was precision that was the difference maker. Taking a look at the stats, Dave, 26, 12, and 5. Throughout the day, this young man apparently has warmed up plenty of times to get himself primed and ready to qualify for a championship Sunday. He kicks this series off. He kicks the door off of game 1, and now SSG have got to regroup quickly.
Yeah, Precision single-handedly putting all of SSG, except for StelluR, in the negative. Except for StelluR. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
So went positive too.
Such a close game still, however. Even though it felt like the ceiling was falling on SSG so much of that game, SSG doing such a good job of playing scrappy, of coming back and making that an opportunistic situation for what felt like 75% of the game. They were getting outplayed, didn't have the camos, didn't have the snipes. It was really all Envy in a lot of these situations, but SSG, we didn't see a ton of their point of view as it was Envy in a lot of the control. But StelluR making individual plays kept his team in this. Can the rest of the crew step up in game 2 to make it a tied up series 1-1?
And some incredible performance from both sides, but in the end, you really got to give it to Envy's precision. Just when they need him the most, he popped off. He allowed them to get the trip caps. He also closed out the end of that game. When we saw 4 players from SSG go down, I saw precision, precision, precision. That was a triple kill that we did not see at the very end of the game by him.
Not surprised, you got to get to 26 somehow, and those 3 kills just a piece of what Precision was able to provide, but that mid-game performance from him, really when he was able to impact all 4 members going down from SSG, from pillars all the way towards dummies, that's when the game started to get out of hand. SSG did a phenomenal job trying to come back, but it just wasn't enough. And right now, we shift focus to Recharge Slayer, the name of the game, for game 2. First to 50 kills, obviously, camo is going to be so important for either of these teams. And you have to think SSG need to do a better job of controlling that camo, 1. But 2, when they get it, they have got to make plays with it. And we didn't see a ton of high-level plays outside of the 1 camo that StelluR had where he was trying to get involved, but unfortunate events kept knocking into no shield, whether it was random grenades or trying to save Eco bottom middle or all sorts of different things that are just delaying his opportunity to really heavily impact the outcome of what was going on.
Yeah, you start to see just some of those delays, and it kind of added up. And times when players aren't in the action or in the game, you got to consider they are leaving their team 1 member down. And unless they make up for that with that following play, that following flank, with some sort of execution, their team is just kind of left out to dry.
All right, SSG. There was a lot of talk coming into this event about how Envy were actually the 4th best team, and we're going to figure it out here. You thought you solved that riddle back in pool play, but Envy have bounced back in tremendous fashion to get to see you again here in the elimination bracket. Camo, the primary focus at the start of these games, and you can see Spacestation trying to prioritize it, but immediately Yakzn on the prowl doesn't let him get away, and Yakzn with a massive double to get his team some early control here and deny camo in the hands of SSG.
Precision, sorry, Descendant, trying to get that chain reaction kill right onto Suppressed over at the triple stacks. Wasn't able to play off there, but in the end, Envy have control of the shock rifle. They have a little bit more control of the map. Look at this Precision, just trying to figure out what these guys are at. Knows what long haul's about, doesn't know about the second one though, but when the game slows down, people tend to know what corners they can be hiding in.
Yeah, you wonder if it's a little bit too quiet. He sees a couple of nades coming from that direction, so he knows StelluR's going to be there. These nades really stopping SSG from being able to get an angle on him right now, and SSG choose to back up and respect what Precision is bringing to the table of starting this game at 3-0 and 1.
It's going to be Falcated actually walking away with the shock rifle.
Nice.
I didn't see that. We saw Descendant in the end gave up that weapon into the hands of SSG. So in a stalemate that I thought was going to favor Envy, ends up giving a 1-kill lead for SSG.
Yeah, Falcated gets a nice double with the shock rifle, and they try to get some map control. They try to push their advantage into blue, but Piggy hits both players with a predictive nade. It kind of stops Falcated in his tracks. Falcated forced to relocate, now finds himself in the Mangler pit. Maybe not the best position to find yourself in. Does knock a couple players to no shield. Is anyone on SSG able to capitalize on that damage? The answer looks like no. Precision does get taken down, however, and a bit of a scrappy situation here as players are all over the map for both teams. Two go down for Envy, and now Yakzn in a lot of trouble, but that trouble gets erased as Eco drops right in front of him. He gets two and releases all of the pressure Envy had planned. Nice
like
shots.
That. Precision, though,
Oh my God.
gets a double onto SSG. That's going to be 7 kills on the board for Precision. We talk about this being very much a team game, and don't get me wrong, all these players in Envy put in this damage, doing this sort of work, but there are these individual heroic efforts that can help carry a team over that finish line.
3 go down as Descendant, the last player alive. He gets spotted in the tunnel, uses the shroud to cut off the sight line, trying to play his life back here, but I think that second camo just came up, and it goes into the hand of Suppress, so although Descendant stays alive, he has to give up that camouflage respect to Suppress, and now this is the challenge. Can you make plays with this camo? Shooting the player from top middle in the blue tunnel, a kill you're never gonna get. A questionable start to this camo play, but let Suppress develop. Can SSG figure out a way to get a few kills now that he can make a play?
About half this camo's gone, though. He's going to be able to get shock rifle in his hands, so let's see if he can make some more work with this one. But throughout this entire time, this exchange while camo is in the hands of SSG, they're having player after player drop. In fact, Envy has taken the lead throughout this camo.
Uncharacteristic misses from Suppress there. Usually he is money with the shock rifle. He found nothing on Piggy right there. 3-shot opportunities, nobody home, and loses the camo, loses the shock rifle, and now guess who found that shock rifle on the ground? It's no one else other than the man that has been on fire so far throughout this series, Precision. 11 to his name, and now with the power weapon in his hand, starting to already do work. It's a killing spree, and he smells blood in the water. He wants to push. Eco gets taken down, a trade, but at 13-1-5, Precision is leading the way once again for Envy.
I mean, this is to get into Championship Sunday, but Precision is making moves like it's matchmaking on a Friday night. You've seen what he is doing. He now has 13 kills. He's doing this against Spacestation Gaming, one of the best teams in the world. He's hopping on triple stacks, going for shock rifles.
At some point, if you're SSG, do you start prioritizing where Precision is on the map
100%.
and hard focusing, making sure he doesn't continue to impact the game and the series the way he is so far?
I mean, you rarely ever try to focus on one player, but there are instances. If someone's on fire, try to shut down that player as fast as possible. Try to call him out, saying, hey, this person's been hiding behind enemy lines. In a case like you're playing against Optic, where's Renegade at? Have we seen him recently? In a case like this against Envy right now, they need to shut down Precision before this series gets out of control.
Completely agree. I think Snipe Down was actually one of those players as well from back in the day. It was someone you had to always keep tabs on. But as I say that, look at how Spacestation have rebounded here. Up now by 3 unanswered kills. They're starting to make some plays of their own as the rest of the crew from Spacestation starting to pick it up. Suppress, StelluR, Falcated, 7, 8, 9, and Eco along the way just with 4, but starting to play his life a little bit better now. Up 4, SSG finally feel like what it has to have control in one of these games so far in this elimination bracket.
Both Eco and Precision
Look at
going
that,
for that
3
Eco
dead.
challenge across the map. And this is starting to go more in the hands of SSG. It was starting to look a little scary there. Starting to look like Envy were clawing back, and now we have a 7-kill lead for SSG with this camo.
Another camo goes into Suppress hands. The first one didn't really find any success. Let's see how Suppress chooses to play this. Player bottom white, no shield, passes like ships in the night, but a good turn and a killing spree for Suppress will keep control of white. Suppress able to help his team across the map, actually takes down StelluR. He actually shot StelluR one time and killed him. Unfortunately, can't finish the one-shot grapple player, but still has some camo to work with. No harm, no foul, still up 5.
That one's devastating. Those ones hurt so
That's
much
me in
when you
match
can't get that player by.
Sorry about
but
that, bud.
Here comes the sneak behind here from Suppressed. Takes out Yakzn.
Oh, that's
but
beautiful.
has slipped behind Piggy. Piggy cannot find him. And Suppressed is going to stay alive in the elevator, retaining that 7-kill lead.
That's how you make up for it. That ghost jump literally had Yakzn lost looking for him, and because of it, look at the lead now, Dave. Up 37-30. Suppressed using that camera so much more successfully with the control, the presence, the focus that he maintained from all of Envy. It felt like over at Elevator right there. Brilliance from Suppressed. Rewarded with the shock rifle, and this time starting to heat up just a little bit. You can tell he's about to make a play.
Yeah, I like his team. They give that confidence back into him. They say, hey, we don't care if you missed 1 or 2 early on.
Or you killed me.
You are our sniper in some of these situations. He didn't tell him about that, I'm sure.
That's something you say after the series.
Actually, I like it in the middle. I'm like, was that one of our nades? Who nade me?
Can't quite find the trade, however, and that's an opportunity for Envy to get back into this. Not able to finish that one shot, tries to get the kill with the shock rifle, can't hit the headshot, and because he doesn't do enough damage with that shock rifle shot before the melee, he's not able to trade that kill. 38-36, all of a sudden, a 7-kill lead erased. 1 kill separates these two, make it a tied game, and Yakzn with the shock rifle can gain his team a 2-0 series lead. He's only got 1 bullet, however. Maybe I'm jumping over the gun here with that 1 bullet. Puts it to use, though. Suppressed, that was your shock rifle at one point, now being used against you. 3 straight kills for Envy, and they take the lead by 2.
Now they have the kill staggered. You just also see Piggy getting away with this camo. What route does he decide to take with this? He's got plenty of time with it. He just needs to find a smart fight. I love this route, actually.
They spot him.
He gets hit, though, from the jump up to C flat. That is painful.
SSG are so good at that. 2 go down. 1 gets answered back from DSCENDANT, but look, just a 2-kill game. What was a massive moment for Piggy and the rest of Envy. That camo gets erased. SSG with the camo eyes. They've been doing it since last year, I swear it. You cannot move freely across the map, even if you are invisible. They will see you, and all of a sudden the game is tied up with a massive set of kills on the side of SSG.
Unfortunately for Envy, they are all stuck in the elevator, and it looks like that call out and info has been shared. A couple members ditch Piggy over in the elevator and push towards White. I don't hate it. Do all 4 need to die? No, instead, Yakzn and DSCENDANT looks like they push out.
Not all 4 need to die, but look at this. It's a 2-kill lead for SSG. They've taken back command. Yakzn and Piggy are away from the rest of the team. It's a little bit of a split from Envy. Envy trying to hold crosses to make sure SSG don't collapse on these players in blue. These last 2 players are massive. They need to stay alive. Piggy trying to run for his life. You see DSCENDANT coming. Precision trying to cut across bridge. Falcated shuts him down with the 5 biggest shots of the series so far.
That is crucial to watch that cross. And now we're at 48 apiece.
49-48.
2 players way too down low. They need to get out of here. That's what Envy does.
They're gonna
They
hit
get up
White.
high. I like this play. Just get new ground and wait for the action.
All of SSG stuck towards the elevator. StelluR in the pipes. Gets the player to no shield. He's got to be calling this out. This player cannot leave this door. StelluR eats the nade, but with the challenge, puts a punctuation and ties this series up. StelluR, that play was ballsy as hell, but you, my man, can pull it off, and you can get your team back into this series. You very well did that. And man, it doesn't get closer to that than that, Dave. What a swing of kills, both all the way through that game. It was Envy in the lead by 4. SSG leads by 7, make it 8. Envy come all the way back. They get the lead, they get the camo. SSG spot the camo. I cannot believe how close these 2 teams are when they match up, but it is so stressful to watch from the outside.
Yeah, if we're this stressed watching, imagine the pressure these players have to be under in the middle of that game. And to have ice in your veins like that, charging a player in the pipes just saying, I'm ending it here right now, not sure if you're walking into a bait and switch, not sure if you're gonna walk right into that frag grenade and get embarrassed. No, StelluR sees the opportunity, seizes it, wins the game.
There's one thing StelluR's good at, it is steady shooting. And even though that nade rocks him to no shield, that steady shot, he trusted with basically a series on the line, an elimination tournament life on the line. StelluR's shot's got to get you there. StelluR's shot does just that, gets his team right back into it. But it was all of SSG. Did you see the kills on that scoreboard at the end? All of SSG caught up with each other, and it has to be a massive group effort to be able to swing the momentum the way it did, because look at the score, Dave. all of a sudden, SSG up for what feels like a pretty comfortable lead here coming up. And then on top of it, Piggy gets that free camo, gets away with it. And you're thinking, this game's all she wrote. There's no way, but SSG crawl back. They crawl back so well. They get the trap at elevator, and all of a sudden, StelluR says, I'll do it my damn self. Takes down Yakzn for the 50th kill. And also, if we're gonna talk about stats, as hot as Precision started that game, 16 and 13 to end it, he was specifically slowing down, and maybe it was SSG hyper-focusing on him, understanding that he was doing way too much on the map.
Just getting shut down after that. Those are some tough positions to be in. But looking up next, we have CTF Forbidden. Both these teams, I mean, we end up seeing one of the fastest Forbiddens we've seen in a while and kind of forever. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm thinking Origin, actually. Might be.
I mean, what SSG are we going to get? 0-3 on CTFs and 4-0 here.
That's right, yeah. Actually, wasn't it their winners bracket series?
It was an Origin CTF.
Origin CTF, and it lasted
about 2 minutes. I blinked. I actually went to go grab some food. I came back, and game one was over. SSG's got to throw that in the back seat. They can't be thinking about that right now. If you have StelluR and Suppressed on your team on a map that has 2 snipes spawning on it at all times, you have an opportunity to take the series lead back. And I'm also looking on the other side, Dave. Who are you looking at with that S7? I mean, outside of Precision, we know he's probably going to lead off the way, but there's got to be other players from Envy that can match that level if they want to cross the finish line here tonight and continue on to Championship Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a little slower start there from Descendant in that game number 2, but at the same time, I feel like one player that's been flying a little under the radar, Yakzn.
Yeah.
He's kind of consistent, solid Yakzn, but he's also been making some incredible plays. I think the difference maker, though, it's not just going to be hitting these shots. There's no question on these players. Can they hit these shots? Is can they position themselves and make the right decisions on when they should push and when they should hold an angle? The thing I saw from SSG at the end of that Recharge Slayer is SSG would recognize, okay, we have all 4 of them trapped in the elevator. Let's put the squeeze on, get on both angles. They also at times recognize, all right, there's a couple of people over here at Hydro. We're going to send 2 or 3 at Hydro, and we're going to have one person watch the cross. They had Falcated watch the cross purposely to catch someone like Precision coming over from Needler or coming from batteries. And that was, like you said, it's everything. So it's just more of like this positioning, this patience from SSG saying, oh, we know the numbers game. We're going to move our chess pieces over here. We're going to have this person watch this angle, and it's all going to work out.
It all worked out in game 2. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, but the job gets done. The series all tied up. Forbidden CTF's the name of the game for game 3. And I see Precision and StelluR. We always talk about the chess game that is Halo. I see Precision and StelluR right now moving as queens on the chessboard, impacting the outcome of both of these games at such a high level. And it's all about how do you take out the other team's queen in order to really give you an opportunity to win this series. I'm looking at how long does this first snipe stay in StelluR's hands and how long does the other snipe stay in Precision's hands, because I guarantee you whichever one has the higher number has a better opportunity to get off to an early lead here in game 3.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, are we going to see aggressive sniping StelluR right off the rip, or is he going to play back a little bit? Is he going to sit back closer towards his Mohawk, see if he can cut off the angle and get a snipe? StelluR, first getting that carbine, putting some shots. That snipe bridge is already receiving some pressure, but that's going to be Precision and Piggy going down.
Yeah, it's actually Descendant that goes for Envy snipe right now. It's a 2-on-2 on the map, and although Yakzn tries to get that overshield, he does it, but can't turn the corner. StelluR takes down that overshield. He leaves the snipe behind, prioritizing that overshield, and there's a sniper on the other side of the map that takes down StelluR, but Suppressed. The other sniper for this team. It's a snipe off, and Descendant will take down Suppressed. Who got that overshield, though? Eco found a way to respawn, get back up there, and get that overshield. And now Descendant's going to have a lot of pressure coming at him towards this snipe. SSG look like they've won the opening break and have a little bit more control so far.
Yeah, but up until that point where Eco fell,
yeah,
they were in such a prime position, having the opposite snipe, having a snipe all the way back on their half of the map that they can give some extra cover fire. But look at this pressure.
Oh my
Descendant
God.
gets the pick and gets the flagpole and takes the perfect route. They aren't expecting this tour route. In fact, Descendant saying, hey, can someone get over here in time? Well, it looks like you said all 4 dead. This one's going to make it clear all the way back to the base as long as they don't drop it off.
It's a long route, but Suppressed already get put him back in the respawn screen will almost guarantee Envy's gonna take the early lead here on Forbidden. Yakzn, Precision, both find kills as well, so the spawn trap, it's perfect. Piggy in a prime position to get a second flag on the move, and we could be looking at a double cap at Suppressed, the only player alive, overextending to the bottom tunnel.
Oh my
and oh,
God.
baby, Precision, showing you just why we say his name with such power.
That's going to be a powerful double cap there coming for Envy. And SSG has their work cut out for him. I mean, if they overextend just slightly here, they could potentially give up third cap. If they sit back too far,
2 dead.
there's going to be time ticking off the clock.
2 dead, and Dino's coming in. Flag getting pulled. Descendant does go down. A big kill from Suppressed to delay that flag on the move. But a lot more work for SSG to do. They get another player down, but Overshield pops up. Envy and Piggy able to pop that into his chest, is looking for these players from SSG. He's gonna be by himself, but at least he denies SSG an opportunity to get that Overshield as they have the numbers on the map. Piggy able to get that Overshield. Maybe a bit of a waste there as he plays aggressive with it, but I mean, you're up 2-0. Eliminating the win conditions like the power-ups and power weapons are massive for Envy to close this game out.
Yeah, I don't hate the aggression. I think it just a great push there by Suppressed. I mean, he was in a tough spot, that attic, people on both sides, and able to help get the first finish on the StelluR, not able to get Suppressed.
I hope no SSG fans went to the bathroom before this game, because they come back and they find themselves down 2-0 in the blink of an eye. A couple of kills, make it 3. As Envy coming off respawn. StelluR already in the enemy team snipe. He needs to win this one. Descendant, a ghost jump from Descendant gets him an opportunity to win that fight on the StelluR. And you're wondering, how far can this flag go now that StelluR's been taken out?
Just like that, predictive nade from Descendant, not able to take out Eco. Eco eventually falling though. Is this flag going to return? I don't see anyone in position for it. It's going to be either Falcated to run this, but I believe he's just going to keep some attic control.
Suppressed, so focused on making sure Envy can't pick up that snipe. Able to get not just a headshot, but a body shot onto a second player. And all of a sudden, that could open the floodgates. Here comes the response from SSG. Snipe in the hands of the young man himself. Suppressed, starting to rip faces. 3 down, last player alive in the back of the base for Envy. That flag on the move. SSG may be able to make this a 1-cap game if Suppressed can hit one more shot.
And that's got to be really annoying, despite that carbine unzooming him so frequently, still able to hit that no-scope.
Falcated is going to punch it in, 2-1. SSG respond. They weather the storm. They make sure this game keeps going. Overshield's up as well. Kills coming through, 2 down. This is massive.
This could be SSG's own dub cap. I mean, they have the position, they have the weapons, they have the power-ups. Can they get these last couple kills? I like this, getting right in the action. Falcated gets a couple picks, continues the run into the sewers. Yakzn, the only one alive, making all 4 dead.
Look at this, SSG, see your double cap. They give you one of their own. Falcated playing perfect with the overshield. Make sure he routes towards the flag as he's getting the slays. And because of it, he's right on cue to tie this game up. What was once all Envy is now all SSG.
Not even over yet. You have StelluR still over in the Envy snipe hut. And he's not satisfied with just that position. He decides to move on in. Precision not really expecting that. Both players who have the snipe hut like to hold that position indefinitely.
2 dead. Eco with some suppressive fire on the Piggy, but runs out of ammo just before he's able to take down Piggy, but a nice kill before that will stop Envy from being able to advance on the map. Suppressed with a lot of responsibility here at top mid, chooses to relocate. He was going to get taken down from multiple angles. Look at that, Suppressed through the observer point of view. We see Descendant on the flank. A great job by Aries Carries in the back to go to Descendant's point of view. And if kills go in the favor of Envy here, this game will end shortly.
I mean, that flag gets pretty far, and that's
StelluR's
3 down. StelluR, last one alive, top center. He gets the pick on the Piggy. Flag is still being touched.
3 dead. That fight's gonna get reset. StelluR gets the double, the kills that matter. Piggy gave StelluR a chance. StelluR took that chance, found himself 2 kills, make it another kill. StelluR is answering the ring of SSG fans all over the world. StelluR able to find 1 more before getting taken down. It's a 2-on-2 Eco Suppressed versus Piggy Precision.
StelluR doing so much work there, passing the baton to his teammates saying, your turn now. I did all my damage, take up more ground, and look at this. Precision and Envy are gonna have control of their hut. This is huge. They haven't had control of their hut in a little bit.
Snipes and Overshield coming up right now. What a massive moment. Precision tries to pick up the snipe and hit the no-scope, but he gets suppressed by Suppressed. StelluR with that Overshield now has his eyes set on the prize. 3 dead. This is it. SSG, flag on the move. StelluR hitting the G slides, hitting the bottom tunnel. It's getting shot in the side though. This
Doesn't
overshield
matter.
all the way dwindled, but look at that. More kills going to SSG as everybody else getting kills. Suppressed with the double, making a triple in the feet. Suppressed and StelluR doing what they do best. Ripping heads and coming back in games they have no business winning. And SSG come back from down 2-0 in game 3 and take a series lead with that win 2-1.
And not just down 2-0, we're talking down 2-0 in the first couple minutes. That was looking dire. But somehow able to work it back, even at the time where I was like, oh man, look at precision. They're gonna get their snipe, they have their hut. Suppressed with a brilliant flank. Unexpected, back on their flag.
The kills so closely matched, but it really was the last 4 kills that make up the difference in between these two teams. That made the difference in the third and final cap for SSG. Aries, if we can get a look at the damage, I think I saw Suppress far beyond anybody else in the lobby. And yes, look at that, reaching 4K. While the rest of your teammates, 27, 27, 28. Eco may not have had a ton of kills, but still second highest damage on his team. You know he was getting involved and also, honestly, took the most damage in the lobby as
taking
well.
a lot of attention across that map. I'll tell you what.
Big time games from Suppressed right there, especially how it ended. Suppressed was all over the kill feed as StelluR was able to run that flag, and man, was this a journey once again. These games are absolutely crazy, Dave.
We couldn't ask for better or closer games here, especially in games number 2 and games number 3.
The script
and
is
the
perfect.
action, the action is non-stop as well. We're not going to an overtime flag game where it's just a cap by 1. No, these teams are double capping on each other. Anytime one of them makes a misstep, they are punished so heavily.
Unbelievable performances from everybody, but the efficiency on the objective, it was just about every single flag that was pulled. I think maybe 1 got returned from SSG. Outside of that, it was perfect. The only other flag return was when StelluR got that massive double last guy alive that stopped Envy from being able to win this game. And when they look back, that's going to be the moment where they say that can't happen. But StelluR doing StelluR things keeps his team in it, and Suppressed figuring out a way to also change and impact the outcome of this game as well.
And that has got to be a dagger towards Envy and Envy fans. You're looking at the records, you're going into this game 3 saying, all right, we're 4-0 in flag games, there's 0-3 in flag games. We're up 2-0 in the first couple minutes. What could possibly go wrong here?
A lot.
And SSG, you can never count them out.
Lattice Oddball is game 4, and Dave, if we've ever casted a series with these two teams and seen enough over the first 3 games of this time around, I can almost guarantee this is going to go the distance. We're going to have one banger of a live fire Slayer, you would think. But SSG do a phenomenal job, games 2 and 3, to show so much resiliency in situations that look dire, where they needed someone to step up and make a play. Someone steps up and makes plays to get them this series lead. Is that going to be the story here for game 4? Envy's tournament life now on the line here in the elimination bracket.
And one question I had about SSG, especially from yesterday, was I wasn't seeing some of that objective efficiency that I would have expected. I wanted to see them rally some more flags, do some better ball rotations, jump in the hill a little bit quicker. They aren't afforded that same luxury here on Lattice, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of
kills are staying even, Envy are going to come ahead in that scrappiness.
Who do you think you favor here? You think you favor Envy as we basically have a game 5 on the line, on the outline here. We have the brand new map mode combination of Lattice Oddball for these two to go to toe, and it's Descendants kicking this one off with the first kill, takes down Eco, rips him right off the top of red there. And it looks like Envy have gotten off to a solid start, and we'll see if Suppress is able to play his life and continue to try and deny what would be an early lead for Envy.
Yeah, it looks like Piggy's gonna grab that ball, rotate it back towards red, maybe towards ice. Just scrap up a little bit of time, but his teammates are falling here. I don't know what the rotation here in this case is. Looks like he's gonna try to avoid those players near tower side red and bring this over towards crates. I actually don't hate it.
Yeah, especially when you lose a couple of your teammates. Putting this ball in a more neutralized location, massive. Let's see what Piggy's able to do now that he's popped the quantum
This
bottom
actually
middle.
could go all the way through tunnel if he wanted to continue rotating it, but he doesn't have all that information. Instead, he's gonna get picked off and at least does not give the ball in full and total control over to SSG.
Ball dropped.
StelluR's found himself the S7 in the meantime.
Enemy has the ball.
Envy on the ropes here as SSG bring that ball back into red, and they're gonna have to go through StelluR in order to break this setup, but here they come. They're already making the front red. Descendant's gonna come through the top window. Players coming through ice. StelluR with a lot of pressure in front of him. Does hit a body shot, but it's just traded out immediately, and the rest of SSG do a good job to get this to a one-on-one situation. They know where Descendant is. Descendant's still able to stay alive, however. Piggy's already respawned, and he's able to back down Falcated to keep Descendant alive. Now that Descendant has been able to, you'd think, would get his shield back, but the rest of SSG also starting to come back into this fight. Somehow Falcated, still standing tall, allows SSG to maintain red control. Unfortunately, no one touches that ball. It resets top middle, and we reset the map completely.
And even as it can be, a minute and a half off the clock, and neither of his teams got up to 10 points just until now, shows that both these squads are heavily prioritizing the slays. They do not want to give up a full setup, a full control on this map.
Yeah, if they go down, they want to go down with their gun up in the moment. Still 18-9 as SSG and Falcated on a killing spree right now. He's starting to step it up here in game 4. Starting to play his life as well. Being just such a nuisance, gets a lot of damage into another player before getting taken down, and that's all you can ask from the kid.
A lot of damage, a lot of attention. All those moments where members of Envy were looking for Falcated, those are precious seconds that they aren't dealing damage to Suppressed, Eco, or StelluR.
Look at this kid. StelluR just knocking left, right, and center players to no shield spots. Piggy trying to come out crates. Back to the death cam. Piggy watches the player spawn bottom white as well, so StelluR gets information on the last 2 players alive for Envy, and all of a sudden a 30-point lead for SSG as they try to rotate the ball over towards blue.
StelluR just holding forward on the left stick, hitting all 5 shots and plowing through Envy at this point. Falcated, grabbing time, trying to see where these spawns are coming through. Blue is still a threat, so in this case, they need to find out if the spawns are happening red or if Falcated wants to rotate this ball over towards his teammate at blue.
And we already get an answer from your question here. Yeah. Perfect shots from SSG, but we get a great answer to the question you posed at the start of going into this game, Dave. Was SSG going to be efficient with the ball? Were they going to be able to hold setups and rotate correctly? That was one of the most beautiful rotations from all the way bottom red ramp into blue from the SSG members. Not only did they get the kills, but they got a ton of time and now get to play from a massive lead. StelluR can't hit the headshot, loses the snipe. But look, 63-9. SSG in a dominant fashion here in round 1 so far.
Yeah, once the kills started rolling in their favor, that time followed, and that's all I cared to see, and that's all I was worried about from the SSG side.
You're making Dave Walsh happy, and usually good things are happening for your team, but Dave Walsh is happy about the Halo level he's seeing. Precision finds a star in the kill feed, but Eco trades him right back out. A big kill, and Eco, look at that. He's able to stay alive. 2 members looking at him, can't finish him as he turns the corner there. And let's see if Eco's able to get his shield back and come across top mid. Suppress finds 2. Still got to find Descendant, though. He can be such a problem with the snipe. Takes down Suppress with the body. Headshot with the snipe. Bandit. Ball still neutralized in this position, and this is a tough place to try and get the ball out of. Thrust, I love that, to be able to kind of use your momentum to get that ball in, but also keep your map control as well.
Yeah, and also Descendant getting a lot of info from some of these footsteps, hearing players clomping all around him, banging a little too loud. Sounds like my upstairs apartment neighbor. Just not being too quiet and giving away their position.
My neighbors are probably saying the same thing when I'm gaming, so. We apologize on behalf of all the loud gamers out there. StelluR, when he picks that snipe up from Descendant, he's able to get a few more kills with it and really deny what was going to be a nice opportunity for Envy to come back in this game. It's still just a, what, 24-point game? So a good job by Envy so far through the mid-game to get right back into this round, but a massive deficit, still trying to create the comeback. And SSG are spawning across the map, and look at how aggressive Precision wants to be to stop and delay any SSG members getting towards his ball.
Like that, creating some space. Obviously didn't want the trade in the end there, but he is trying to make sure his ball can get the play ball before Spacestation close in on blue.
I think I just saw 3 members from SSG top middle. They are using a wolf pack approach to get the rest of Envy flooded out of blue. And now that they have those kills, 3 go down for Envy. They're all spawning bottom red. And they're gonna have one push, Dave. 75 and climbing, ball in the back of blue. It's a trek for Envy to try and get back in this game.
See how Eco decides to play this. He knows where the push is coming from. Knows that they have to make it now.
Good damage.
They don't see even the absence of something. They get to deduce and say, hey, it's not coming here from crate side. You better be watching out over towards bridge or tower.
What a read by Eco right there. StelluR picks up 2 in the kill feed, but Eco could feel that he didn't know enough information of where everyone on Envy was. He's got to assume someone's pushing the right side of the map. He actually meets Precision at the door, denies Precision from killing his ball carrier, and because he delays that, the rest of SSG swarm, and they're able to cut off any flank Precision might have had.
Just like this, Piggy, last one alive, bottom tower, gets taken out by the suppressed no-scope. I don't think Envy are going to be able to get in position to stop these last few seconds of ball time. Precision desperately trying to get over towards the trench. Not going to happen.
SSG led by Suppressed and StelluR. Who else? The main slayers on this team with 18 and 19. But it's really a cohesive effort. That ball rotation was everything for them to get out to a massive lead. This is the best of SSG I have seen, and what a time to see the best of SSG.
Yeah, we're starting to see these teams really shine as we get later into this tournament series. We're seeing FaZe really start to sparkle. We're seeing SSG shine. It's only going to be a matter of time to see who's actually going to walk away with this event.
You always wonder, is the moment too big for some of the new young guns coming up in the scene? Is that's what's happening right now. SSG start this round very strong. 4 grenades denying StelluR.
Desperation grenades, if I'm going to be honest with you. At some point, it's okay to delay, but when you're throwing the 3rd or 4th grenade, it almost feels like you're just praying, hoping for almost a Hail Mary and get you a kill across the map.
Well, they have denied SSG from getting any ball time, so successfully they knocked that out, but eventually StelluR gets that ball back into red. They are going to have to get a couple of kills for this setup to remain strong right now. StelluR able to drop that ball, get Precision to no shield, eat! Yakzn in the face right there as a melee thrusts perfectly. Gets his team a 2-man advantage here. Last 2 players alive, spotted and removed from the map. Last player alive, DSCENDANT, teleports. StelluR, he's to your right. You saw where the Quantum went. Good help from SSG, though, to keep StelluR alive. He wants that snipe. This ball still neutralized, however. So although SSG doing a great job slaying in this second round, not a lot of time so far.
Not the time that you need, but StelluR making things happen over here towards top tower. But like you said, not really seeing that OBJ efficiency. I was kind of heckling a little bit those grenades going towards the ball on the ground, but maybe it's working. Maybe this got to delay SSG.
Yeah, but it's all, you feel like it's only a matter of time. You need some more slays on the side of Envy. They've weathered the storm. StelluR hit a couple of snipes, but no ball time really acquired on the side of SSG. Now, it looks like Envy has that ball in their hand, but the first domino falls. Yakzn gets taken out. DSCENDANT able to get a kill, but he's the last player alive in a 1-on-3 situation. As all 4 members of Envy go down, that ball gets back into red, and it will be Spacestation getting into a lead here momentarily.
They also got info on the spawns. The fact that Falcated was hit right there knows that they were spawning towards bottom blue, which is already expected, but he knows exactly where they are at that time.
Suppressed trying to stay alive top middle, but just gets angled out from multiple members that push towards the ice situation. Now have their eyes focused over towards the red ramp. Piggy gets knocked to no shield. Can he spot Falcated? It lands a couple of shots and actually takes him out. Looks like Falcated was out of ammo in that situation. Fortunate for Piggy to be able to get that kill, stay alive. Can't take down Eco though, and that kill being traded out will really deny Envy a ton of space here in red. The rest of his team going to get sandwiched now that StelluR has respawned.
Yeah, that was huge heads up by Piggy to realize that Falcated was missing those shots, and he had that opportunity to reverse that one.
StelluR finding a second kill over in red. The ball, however, gets reset, so scrapping is continuing to favor Envy, and opportunities where SSG you think are going to get some ball time. That ball resets for the second time this round. You can clearly tell the focus is slaying before getting anything else done.
Look at that little trap they have there at the front door of red. Come on through, walk right into a trap. Whether you look towards ramp or whether you look to your left, you are getting shot in the back.
Last guy alive can't hit the no-scope. DSCENDANT asked too much from the Envy roster here. StelluR gonna have ball and snipe in hand. You know he doesn't want that ball, anything to do with it. Multiple players already pushing across top middle. This game is so fast-paced, Dave. I'm going crazy with the play-by-play right now.
Yeah, as soon as you feel like you see 2 or 3 down, you're like, all right, there's gonna be a pause. There's gonna be people waiting to respawn. They're gonna do a push together. No, these players are heading forward and they're charging towards us. We have our 2-second game right now.
And only 2 minutes on the clock, so maybe time becoming a factor here in the second round of this game 4. Remember, Envy's tournament life on the line. Falcated hits a no-scope on a player, can't quite finish him. Does anybody have a sight line front red? Yes, they finally take him down, but the ball carrier actually escapes towards the bottom ice river, and he's gonna be actually Still alive, chooses to drop it. Falcated, another body shot, 3 go down, and surely SSG can get the ball in hand.
Yeah, SSG gonna put a little more time on the board, but you're right, that's tough when they cannot finish off that sniper, that they get to absolute one shot as they're making those pushes. Getting those finishes are crucial.
Precision looking like the Sith with repulse there, hood up, and using that repulse to push Space Station away. Yakzn somehow finally gets able to breathe with the ball without feeling like the world is collapsing on him. Piggy with the snipe in a very advanced position, needs to hit a no-scope. Can't quite take down Eco and gives his position away. Suppress gets taken down. A great job by Piggy to stay alive, get a ton of damage. 4 go down for SSG, and now finally, this should be some significant time going in Envy's favor here.
Let's see how Piggy decides to play this. Knows the spawns are in blue, not gonna impact him too much. But once again, deduction. No information, no players pushing that way. Basically says where they are pushing. Right now, Piggy knows they're all gonna push tower / catwalk side. He reverts away here, knowing that crates is no longer the threat.
2 of the dominoes fall for Envy as SSG is pushing across top middle, suppressed. Makes it 3 down for Envy. It's a Yakzn by himself, finishes suppressed, but is forced to retreat and give up the ball. It's SSG with the ball in hand, but now Yakzn able to get his shield back, re-engage in the combat loop, and now the respawners for Envy have gotten there. Look at that, they bring the ball right back to red, and this round all of a sudden getting out of hand in Envy's favor.
Yeah, and based on the time, Envy actually have an opportunity if they want to just play the slaying game. They got to slay for the first 3.5 minutes of this. Just go back and forth there. They have that option right now. So they're not required just to try to scrap up these last 33 points.
Time becomes a win condition for Envy. As SSG lose 2 members, Envy pick up that ball. They want to get a little bit more time. They don't feel comfortable just playing time yet. As this map, some of these spawns are so far away from the setup. If SSG were to play perfectly, it would be very difficult for Envy to try and come back. 74-35, it's a 40-point lead, and now I feel like is an opportunity to try and play time. Descendant does try to make his way towards the ball. 4 go down for SSG. StelluR the first to respawn, and he's nowhere in sight to be able to deny this ball going back to red. And I think Envy have every intention of getting to 100 points at this point.
Yeah, I don't hate it either way. I mean, at one point you can say, all right, is it slay for 35? Is it hold the ball for 20? But in short, as long as they're holding this ball for longer, that's going to force SSG to play that much more perfect of a setup. They have to somehow get the kills, get the ball, and hold it for 70 seconds straight or 60 seconds straight.
This Shroud's making it so difficult for Suppress to continue to impact. He gets 1 kill, but that Shroud really denies any sightline Suppress would have had on a few more players. Suppress rips the face off Descendant there across the map. It's going to be 2 down. SSG with ball in hand, 14 seconds though. You nearly have to be perfect. These snipe shots have to all find the heads of Envy, and Suppress so far back is going to allow Envy a lot of map control here.
Yeah, and let's see how Suppressed and SSG decide to play this one out. They're going to be gunned down this entire time, and that's no StelluR fully in the action. That's going to be StelluR trade out 2 melees. Counting down that time, you know, Envy are just going to slay, slay, slay. Here come the last few seconds, and that's going to be a tied-up oddball game.
A resilient form from Envy here. His precision marks his 28th kill there. He's just even on the map. That's as dominant of a round as SSG had previously, but we saw an equally dominant round, I feel like, halfway through and on from Envy. SSG had what felt like control early in round 2, but wasn't able to get any objective time. Props to Envy for that, but round 3, what do you have in store for StelluR? On his way towards the snipe. That snipe, however, is gone in the hands of Descendant, and now StelluR gets taken down, overextending.
See what Descendant tries to do here. Not really as much of a threat to have to move out of here as long as ball still sitting inside the map. Now with 3 down, looks like he's going to try to follow up his teammates and bring that ball towards red, but now with Envy also with 3 down, Descendant has to go back to the defense game.
Yeah, this is a tough place to be because you don't want to lose this snipe to anybody on SSG. They are clicking on all cylinders when it comes to the S7. StelluR actually just picks up that ball. You had Snipe watching the ball, and somehow the window, the opportunity, StelluR finds it
Gamer
perfect.
timing. It happens to the best of us. Happens to you in your matchmaking games. Happens to the top pros. You look away for that 1 second. That's the time they round that corner and take advantage of it.
Descendant has not died in this round, and yet all of SSG are able to get the ball back to red, and they're going to have a lead. Descendant is watching this game escape his control without impacting any of it. He's able to hit a couple of these shots, but you got to get more involved.
Yeah, it's been a relatively ineffective sniper, and I mean, every single which way he's looking, just not able to find the fights that he'd like. somehow, though, still staying alive and says, hey, if I'm not impacting with the damage, let me put a little time on the board. My B.
Yeah, makes his way to the ball, somehow stays alive, gets knocked to no shield several different times, but gets a couple of seconds and then realizes SSG are already knocking on the front door of red. It's a 4-on-4 across the map, and everyone's pretty close to each other right now. Envy choose to run away through the river. Multiple members of Envy here going to re-engage with these players bottom ramp. Falcated and Eco, what kind of a duo are we looking at here? Piggy and another member of Envy. It's a 2v3, and now they bought enough time for StelluR to get there. The teamwork from Envy, the pinch from StelluR shines true. The ball does reset yet again. Nobody prioritizing that out ball as the scraps continue.
Little worried about the efficiency, though, because there was such a long spree there where it felt like DSCENDANT was out of the action, felt like SSG were getting the slays, and for them to only have a 25-point lead after all those exchanges worries me a bit.
Still, that lead continuing to grow. One player is already top red. StelluR forced out front red. He's going to cost his life with that route, but he didn't really have a great answer. These Envy members, you can tell they love pushing that top window right now. Ball still on the ground. Suppressed the last guy really in the back of red right now, trying to get lost, trying to escape through the window. Does just that. Finds himself a one-shot player. A beautiful route will keep him alive and give his team an opportunity coming off respawn to fight maybe a less a weaker setup from Envy, and even the ball resets again, Dave.
Yeah, players are disappearing a little bit easier on this map. There's going to be taking some of these routes through the sneakies, running over towards the tunnels. There's just a few different routes where teams don't have the years and years of knowledge and practice on this map together that are going to allow some of these escapes that aren't going to happen on another map like a Solitude.
All 4 dead for Envy, 32 and climbing. And look at this, suppressed.
Force in blue?
Had red wide open, decides to rotate it to blue. Must be some level of communication going on with SSG so far, because that was a very interesting play. And yeah, hey, StelluR says, I have snipe in blue. I'd bring it to you too, bud.
Well, it looks like throughout those spawns, it kind of worked out well for Envy. It feels like they got crate, it feels like they got towards red, so almost naturally has a little bit of a flank. Rather than all 4 of them spawning in one spot at blue, they spawned out in 2 different quadrants, and now SSG have 2 members falling.
Yeah, even StelluR gets that first pick. There's still so many more members of Envy. You kind of ran it towards the half of the map that they were spawning on. An ambitious rotation from SSG does not benefit them for now, but that ball once again resets. Nobody able to get control of that ball into blue. Piggy gonna find himself top middle trying to deny this ball. He is the last player alive, just nading the ball once again to try and stop SSG from getting it into red, but it's too little too late. The body shot's not gonna matter. That nade is money though, so a good job by Piggy to get that kill.
But ball has rotated. Now it comes down to, can Yakzn and Envy take up some ground here on the red side? Look at this though. Falcated, suppressed, and crew. They aren't treating it as if they're holed up in red. They are pushed outside of red. They're guarding over near QT, near tower. And now they rotate the ball back towards red once they have the area secured.
It is 42-6, and there is a minute 17 left on the clock for Envy to decide if their tournament exists, their tournament lives exist further than this game 4. Suppress almost does it to Yakzn, but the damage has been done. You have to think a double kill for StelluR as well. Makes 3 down for Envy. DSCENDANT, the last player alive, knocked to no shield and no man's land. All 4 down, and Spacestation continue to build what is now a 40-point lead.
Now have an opening though with that first pick onto Falcated. You know, Piggy, Precision, and Yakzn are flying across the map. They're trying to outrun Falcated before he spawns. Now, is Falcated spawned with them at red, or does he get the flank spawn at blue? Either way, Envy are trying to get away before Falcated becomes a factor in the fight.
3 dead, last one alive, Precision, and his location is known. He's back red. He doesn't have any help for the moment, and this lead continue to extend, but more importantly, Dave, look at the clock. 34 seconds, and it's ticking down. SSG will start to play time at this point, up 44.
SSG trying to slay. Do or die here for Envy. 3 members going down. People are not buying enough time, and that's going to be DSCENDANT, the last one alive. He is near ball, but not much he can do. He needs to wait for some reinforcements.
Envy's got to make a play. Envy has to get around the slays. They're not able to. Precision, the best player on Envy so far throughout the series, gets taken down. Piggy able to get a kill, but StelluR answers it onto Yakzn. The ball makes its way down the river, so they do have ball control. They are going to be able to stop the clock momentarily, but Falcated and Eco able to get there. It's Eco trying to get a melee, somehow sends DSCENDANT flying. I have no idea what just happened, but multiple players still from Envy are here to try and get the time. They're not able to get the ball. And oh my God, that was pure warfare, but SSG get the job done. And probably the most chaotic Halo Infinite game I have ever casted in my life. SSG come out on top and do just enough to get to Championship Sunday.
That was wild. I mean, Envy had their chances. I mean, to be honest, they had the win in the palm of their hands earlier on in the series. Barely losing that game number 3 after that double cap scenario.
Game number 2, game number 3, games slipping away from the young guns. You have to wonder, is it just reps that they're missing at tournaments? Is it those moments? Are the lights getting too bright on Saturday night? It just might be the answer, but someone who always steps up when the lights shine brightest, StelluR, once again with a hell of a performance in that game. I mean, look at these kills, Dave. 44 from Suppressed, 42 from Falcated, 40 from StelluR. Eco with 29, and I mean, Jesus Christ, he had 33 assists to pair with those 29 kills, so there's a reason everybody else has 40. But I mean, that was the highest kill game I've ever seen in my life.
You know, they heavily outslayed. They decided that was their win condition. As that game went on, they said they need to frustrate Envy, need to force them into bad positions. And you saw it start to work. Early on in the series, you saw members of Envy being up towards Catwalk. They're over towards Top Tower. They're holding sneaky ledges on red. Towards the end of that ball game, you saw Envy all on the ground, hiding down near QT, down in the tunnel, down in the trench, hiding behind a box. No reinforcements above to give support fire.
Eventually, I feel like the firepower from SSG just became too much. Their idea of slaying until the job gets done, it pays off there in that series. I mean, if you're SSG, you are thanking Christ that you got away with bloody murder games 2 and 3, but you punch your ticket to Championship Sunday. You get an opportunity to play Optic in the elimination semifinals. The Green Wall have been watching that, and they're like, Jesus, I hope I don't have to go to war like that tomorrow. I guarantee nobody wants to do that again.
The only thing you learn there is SSG is never out. You could have them dead to rights. You're up 2-0 in flag in the first couple minutes. SSG, they'll bring her right back if you give them an opportunity. You could be up in Slayer. They'll close out the game 50-48. Does not matter, never out.
I do want to say commiserations to Envy. A hell of a couple of series we got to cast from them against SSG. They're going to be kicking themselves, but the World Championship is right around the corner. Those boys can hear anything we say tonight. The biggest is yet to come, and you can still shine as bright. I think there's a lot to learn for them. I'm hearing that there's an interview on main stage. I didn't hear the name, though, so maybe Guy Blaze can help me out there.